Coming up on First at 4, the period to file as a write-in candidate for the November election is over. We break down which candidates are now contenders for the open 29th District State Senate seat. And lawmakers gather in Whitley County to announce millions of dollars in funding, how that funding could improve two community staples.
And we have rain chances in the forecast starting tonight. Details in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the chance for folks to file as a write-in candidate in the 2024 November election is over. With the death of State Senator Johnny Turner, the 29th Senate District will now come down to a race between several write-in candidates. Here is a list of the candidates by order who filed first. Tyler Ward of Whitesburg, Willie Crace of Prestonsburg, Scott Maiden of Pineville, Paul Williams of Prestonsburg, Leonard Hendrickson of Pine Top, Tanner Hesterberg of Prestonsburg, Justin Wade Noble of Emelina, Valerie Eisenhorn of Whitesburg, Craig Blackburn of Prestonsburg, and John Clem of Cranks. So a fairly long list of write-in candidates now for that open Senate seat. But again, the deadline has just passed to file as a write-in candidate as of the top of the hour. Funeral arrangements for State Senator Johnny Turner have been announced. Visitation will be next Friday, November 1st from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. at the Harlan County High School Auditorium. A funeral mass will follow on Saturday, November 2nd at 11 a.m. That will be at Holy Trinity Catholic Church. The family is suggesting memorials be made to Redbird Christian School. Turner died Tuesday at the University of Tennessee Medical Center. He was 76. As we inch closer to Election Day, you may be feeling a bit stressed out. Campaigns and ads bombarding you with messages of how consequential the election is. That weight can take a toll. So how do you cope? How do you manage the stress? Washington correspondent Brian Abel has some expert tips to get you through.
The consequences of him ever being president again are brutally serious.
If Kamala gets 4 more years, she will obliterate our economy.
With messages like those feeding the notion that the 2024 presidential election is the most consequential in American history, it can be easy to feel stressed.
And being exposed to so many news that are not always positive or happy or encouraging leads to more sense of distress.
There are ways to manage the anxiety. Mental health experts suggest limiting time exposed to stressful content, like doom scrolling on social media, and do things that are good for your mind, body, and spirit.
Self-care routines that we all have or should have that include physical activation, engaging in activities that are pleasurable, making sure that discussions that we have with friends or family members are not necessarily around the topics that are currently stressful.
And if you find yourself frustrated by a friend, family member, or coworker with different political views, UCLA's Dr. Emmanuel Maidenberg says it's important to remember people are more than just their political beliefs.
Recognizing that opinions, including political opinions, are based in our personal life experiences. Thinking about it that way allows for some compassion to understand that the other person may have different view, a different interpretation of some of the things that happen.
In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
A federal judge ordered Virginia to restore more than 1,600 voter registrations that she said were illegally purged in the last 2 months in an effort to stop non-citizens from voting. U.S. District Judge Patricia Giles granted an injunction request which said voter registrations were wrongly canceled during a 90-day quiet period. The Justice Department said many of the registrations were canceled because of bureaucratic errors.
And she highlighted the fact that even though we only got this list of purged voters a couple days ago, we've already started to find citizens, both natural born and naturalized, on these lists. So what this program was doing was taking eligible citizens off the rolls, and what this win means today is that they're back on.
State officials argued unsuccessfully that the canceled registrations followed careful procedures that targeted people who explicitly identified themselves as non-citizens to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
TGIF, the weekend is here, and we're seeing overall sunny skies right now across portions of eastern Kentucky, but that's going to change as we go into the next several hours across portions of the area as rain chances will start to pick up. Here's a live look outside at Buffalo Mountain. You can see plenty of sunshine out there at this hour. Temperatures right now are in the upper 70s and low 80s. Look at Moorhead, 81, 82 Irvin, 82 in Somerset, 81 in Monticello. We're at 79 in Hazard, 80 in Jackson, 61 is the current temperature in Grundy. And you're noticing the winds out of the south and the southwest. That's what's kept us relatively warm today. Back behind that, though, is another cold front, and you can kind of see where it is on live pinpoint Doppler radar. You see the rain. The cold front is behind that rain, so once this pushes through, then the front will push through in the overnight hours. You can see right here on future view as we start the clock, rain chances will pick up across the area throughout the evening and overnight hours. Not everybody will see it. Not everybody will see it, but if you do see it, 15, 20 minutes tops, and then it's out of here. It's going to be very, very scattered in nature. And then the rain chances will be that way for the day on Saturday as well. And then we're going to clear out as we go into the evening and overnight hours. Now the question is, how does the weekend look? I'll have that answer in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you. Lawmakers gathered in Whitley County to present millions of dollars in funding for projects designed to improve the area. WYMT's Madison Carmouche was there for the check presentations.
Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers and Representative Nick Wilson made their way to the Whitley County Courthouse to present city and county leaders with millions of dollars in funding from everything from tourism projects to sewer line improvements. While lawmakers presented the ceremonial checks on Friday, lawmakers, city and county officials remind folks they will not see those improvements starting tomorrow. It does take time.
Even my favorite projects, even though they're all great, even those I have to wait as well. So it'll happen over time, but a short time, a few years, but it won't be done right away.
Representative Wilson says it is encouraging that he was able to bring home millions of dollars in funding during his first budget session. In Whitley County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Stivers was also in McCreary County this morning, where he talked about more than $13 million for county improvements there. Coming up on First at 4, officials in Pike County are working to address an ongoing issue in the community. We'll hear what their plans are moving forward.
And in the world of weather, it is Friday, so how does the weekend shape up? I'll have the details in a few minutes.